Hey, before we get a start, let's be honest. Your mum has watched you shank more shots than she can count. So this Mother's Day, it's time to make it up to her. Some mums prefer Dan's, and trust us, a bottle of Mum's champagne or a crisp rosé is going to land a lot better than whatever you're going to do off the tee. Get Mum a gift she'll actually love from Dan Murphy's. Head in store or online and shop for gifts today.
G'day, welcome to Make Me Good at Golf, a golfing podcast where three mates try to get good at golf, and we want you to come along for the ride. Very special edition of this podcast today. Joining me, as always, his highest test score, his lowest golf score, Mr. 71. It's Damien Fleming.
Great intro. Good start, Pete.
Thank you. Got a little bit wonky this in the middle, I have to say, a little self-analysis. And, we call him Mr. 300, but I prefer Long Ball Lehmo.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited about both of today's guests.
Yeah, we got two very special guests. A man who has been in every Australian TV movie you can think of over the last 10 or so years. I worked with him on How to Stay Married. He's currently, you can see him in Ghosts Australia. He's fantastic in that with a good mate of ours, Michelle Brazier, is fantastic in that as well. Also, Ricky Stanicki.
Yeah.
And the new one, Balls Up, which is a hilarious film out on Prime Amazon, directed and written by the great Peter Farrelly. It is Jackson Tozer.
Yes, Jackson.
Thank you.
Jackson, it's lovely to have you here.
Thanks.
Are you busy in November?
No.
We've got a golf trip to New Zealand.
Oh, I'm there.
Straight on. Queenstown.
I'm just going to mention that quickly. We're going to Queenstown. We're taking a bunch of listeners. Get in quick and register your expression of interest. We're going to have more details coming to you shortly, but keep an eye on myway.com.au. That's our travel partner for this particular trip. Or go to the Make Me Good at Golf Instagram. Hit the link there and put in your expression of interest, because as soon as you've expressed your interest, then you will have priority access once things go on sale. And trust me, the interest is very, very high right now.
There'll be some interesting guests along, some big fans of the show. The Hack Street Boys, I reckon they're going to be there.
Yes.
The DJ Carlos is making some noise out of Lake Carrinyup in Western Australia. So it is going to be fascinating.
We're taking our partners as well. And I certainly know my wife and Pete's wife are keen. Wendy might be in for this as well.
Well, she'd love to come.
A little wine tour.
She loves her
Wendy
wine.
will tip in.
So if you don't want to play golf, go on a wine tour with the ladies.
Do they golf? Do your wives golf?
No.
Do they care you golfing?
They now that it's a job.
Silence.
Now that it's a job
work
that involves
now, we
trips
have to
overseas.
do it.
That's why you made a podcast.
Jackson, you saw right through the ruse.
Yeah.
I'll say I worked with Jackson a couple of times now. One more recently on How to Stay Married a couple of years ago. He is one of our finest young actors. He's absolutely killing it. And you are great in ball. Congratulations on Balls Up.
Thank you.
And we're going to introduce Peter Farrelly. We'll be joining Oscar-winning director Peter Farrelly.
Legend.
Directed Green Book. Controversy wasn't nominated for the director. Only the fifth time that's happened where a film has won best film and the director hasn't been nominated.
Crazy.
It's bullshit.
How does that work?
But can we just mention, and I'm well on the record.
Yes.
The record as saying the funniest movie I've ever seen is Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
It's always at the top of my list, and I cannot believe
He's not just saying that because we've got Pete. You've always...
I've said that for years. My top three, Dumb and Dumber, Borat, and Team
We will
America.
not go through a round of golf without you referencing Dumb Dumber. Lines like...
Look, my son's favourite line is, we've got no money, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off.
Nearly spat out my tea.
Look, Pete Farrell will be on soon. We're talking about me right now.
Jackson's
We're getting excited.
Bring it back.
I am well aware that I am the steak knife set that's thrown in.
But you are starring in Balls Up.
I am in Balls Up, but any producers who are asking, yes, I am starring in that film.
Yeah.
I have a couple scenes, and I'm very lucky to be doing it.
Yourself and Ryan Shelton, a good mate Ryan Shelton, is also in it. And obviously Pete loves you because there's back-to-back films you've been in.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's such a generous, amazing guy.
Well, I reached out to you last week and I said, hey, Pete Farrelly's into golf. Is there someone you can put me in touch? He goes, I'll just give you an email. And it's been so smooth. Pete just got back to me and go, I don't normally do podcasts, but yeah. I've got some golf things I want to get off my chest.
Mind you, I set the bar saying, "Oh, look, there's he's a really busy guy, and he might not get back." And straight away, he got back to us. I was like,
Oh, that is awesome.
That's amazing. Did he? So you're into golf, obviously now as well.
Yeah.
Did you play together while you were filming?
No, we
Balls Up?
didn't. And to be honest, Ricky Sinicki would have been a better one because Andrew Santino, who was in that film, he loves his golf. He's very into golf.
And part of it was filmed out at Capitol Golf Course.
Yeah. I had a scene out there, but I was dressed as a Fry's mascot. It's a silly little scene in
Right.
Ricky Sinicki. But yeah, it was stunning. I remember driving in that morning, and I was itching to have a hit there at that time.
Oh,
the sun was coming up. It was beautiful.
It's an extraordinary nick, that golf course. It's just beautiful.
And that would have been so tempting with the golf course right there.
Right there, yeah. It was, and it was one of those mornings too where you just. You knew the greens were going to be really generous to you as well.
And Balls Up I watched it the day it dropped with my wife. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
it's just
funny.
it's just good to laugh at something that he's owning the fact that it's a comedy. It's kind of like an action comedy.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg, he's obviously in it, and Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah.
He's one of the latest gifts to cinema, that man.
He is on an absolute run at the moment too. He is just in everything that's coming out. I think he's got a Chris Farley biopic coming out next year.
Oh, right.
I think, or maybe this year, where he plays Chris Farley, and also just like a lovely, generous guy with his time as well.
Yeah.
Just offset, so funny, so engaging. But for me, I was like Molly Shannon, getting to work with Molly Shannon in the opening scene.
Yes, I was going to ask.
That's sort of like comedy icon to me. Her and Pete together, and
very, very funny. Just and there's so many silly little things like the HR guy.
Yeah.
Just in that scene, it just made me.
Pete's nephew. That's Pete's nephew.
I think it's
Is
Pete's
that
nephew.
Is it really?
I won't give the joke away, but it's just a really funny joke with Molly Shannon and
Abe,
HR guy.
Abe Farrelly.
Yeah.
And right to Amy Farrelly.
Abe.
So
his daughter, Apple, was in Ricky Sinicki as well. Like it's great. He
right.
just puts his family in, and
Because
they
Adam
absolutely knock
Sandler
it out
does
of the park.
that, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Gets
absolutely.
his family in and his mates.
I think
Why
he's.
wouldn't you?
I
Why
think
wouldn't
Adam
you?
Sandler's wife is in every Adam Sandler film.
I think his
Okay.
daughter. I think all the daughters
Small
are in there,
cameo.
and all of them are into it now. But what was
your
it
kids
like?
in anything, Pete?
What's that?
Put your kids in anything?
My kids have been. They were in one episode of It's a Date. My oldest boy. They all got in It's a Date. So my Oscar had a little scene where Phil Lloyd shat his pants. He witnessed that. And another one, Aiden was in a shot of a scene.
Just realised they didn't have the talent and
Yeah,
further follow-up.
I did feel bad because he had no. The others had close-ups. He was just in a shot, basically.
I went solo on Slumdog Millionaire.
Oscar winning.
Yes.
David Fleming.
Yeah, he's an Oscar winner.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of a little movie called?
Slumdog Millionaire.
Heard of it? Yeah.
Boom.
Who are you in it? You do a voiceover or something?
Very
Of
special.
sorts.
Yeah.
Of sorts.
Very specialist role.
There's cricket. There's cricket on the television in the background, and Flem's commentating.
That's great. You claim that. I absolutely claim that.
Yeah.
You know, talking to Santo from the Working Dog Boys, I should be credited for that.
You should be.
They actually had commentator one who is a actor who's voiced over. When I come in,
So
no
you know,
credit.
there's like the 7 degrees to bacon, the bacon number.
You
would have one. So like you've worked with someone who's probably worked with Kevin Bacon, so your bacon
I
number would
reckon
be higher
3.
than
You would have. You'd be close to Bacon, wouldn't you?
I'm one off. Yeah, I've worked with someone who's worked with him.
Who's that?
Josh Hellman.
Right.
But what about?
Oh, man.
Did you share? You didn't.
Googling Josh Hellman.
You didn't share any scenes with Sacha Baron Cohen, though, did you?
No, I didn't. But when I went into the makeup truck for pre-production, and I saw his photo on the wall because I didn't know who was playing that role. I'm like, that
Very funny.
And he's brilliant. He's
he
so
is
brilliant.
brilliant.
He's so good, and I understand he is a guy who's a big improviser.
Oh yeah, I think he changed a lot. About
Well,
that
so I
character.
don't know. I imagine for some directors that might particularly director writers, that might be annoying.
Yeah, but Peter's great like that. If as a writer or as a director, if you can let your ego go and someone can come up with a funnier thing on the moment,
Wow.
Yeah. Why
and it
wouldn't
makes
you?
the thing better. Jim Carrey, we went out for a drink one night with Pete and just sitting there at the bar, I remember Ryan and I just like kids with our eyes open, listening to him tell stories about sitting behind the monitor, watching Jim Carrey on Dumb and Dumber, and just letting him run free because Ace Ventura had come out right before they started filming
He was
it.
on fire.
And so at that point you go, oh, you just do what you need to do. And
How misguided would you be if you went up to Jim Carrey? Cut, Jim. Stick to the script, thanks, mate.
yeah, word for word, please.
a little bit silly. We do have a script.
You know what
Just stick to
though?
it.
I'm going to ask Pete this because it was sometimes people forget Jim Carrey released Pet Detective, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask in the same year.
Yeah.
So when he was filming Dumb and Dumber, was he already famous from Pet Detective, or was Pet Detective?
Yeah. I might paraphrase the story, but essentially he had a fee that they'd offered him to do Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Then Pet Detective came out, and then his fee almost went up by like 300% or something. It went I think it went more than, I think it was like 1 mil up to 10 mil or something ridiculous.
But Jeff Daniels stayed the same.
Yeah. And then they've gone, well, yeah, I mean, you're worth it. Your movie's number one at the box office, and yeah.
And he played, Jeff Daniels was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because that wasn't his normal go, was it?
Combo.
Like, wow.
No. How's your golf game going before we bring
I
you
was
up
glad
here?
this is a golf one. Shithouse. I mean, that's golf though, isn't it? Like,
Join the club.
yeah. I mean, I'm so glad. I reckon only 20 people in the world are good at golf at once, and the rest of us are trying. But my experience with it was growing up. Mum obviously didn't play. Dad played every week, and I just remember him going to golf like happy on the way, and then he'd come home, and it was the same answer every time. How was golf? Shithouse. And I think, why do you go every week? And now, when I hit my 30s, I started to play a bit more because I wanted to spend time with my mates and not be at a pub. And I felt golf was the perfect way to spend time with your friends and it not be based around alcohol. And I got the itch. I love it, and I don't know what it is I love about it.
I love seeing the penny drop in people when they go from going, oh, I never quite got it, but now I get it. I love it because it just gives you mentally, it's great. It's a puzzle you're trying to work out. There's so many connections or similarities between comedy and golf, I think. Because comedy, you're always trying to work it out. Like, you never feel like you're at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
You never feel like you completely got it.
Yeah.
Completely,
And also in comedy, if you deliver a joke that dies, you've just got to get on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a bad hole.
You can't sit there and whinge about it.
No.
point getting
I
angry.
can't remember that happening to me, to be honest.
Well, I had my best round ever last week. I finally got under 100. I was always a back nine person, but I'd only play front nine, so I was always just shit. And I got to start playing because I got future golf, and I was like, I want to get a handicap.
Nice.
So I started playing 18 holes. I went out at Mandalay, and I got 98. I got under 100, but there were 2 holes on there that were quad bogeys. And you just sit in the what if. What if I didn't hit it into that bunker and have 4 shots in there trying to get out?
Yeah.
And that, like comedy too, the improvising, what am I going to do with this shot? But there's an obtainable goal. Every single time you play, there's an obtainable goal.
So have you got a handicap now?
I think it's around 24 at the moment.
24,
so you're better than Pete.
Oh, well, recently that's my handicap.
So, and when did you first get your handicap?
I was using 18 Birdies, the 18 Birdies app. I had a mate who runs a little golf invitational, the San Martin Invitational, and I do disability support work casually, which is Community Care Collective. It's run by my best mates, and it's just incredible work. It's just makes you feel so good about yourself and the world, and just completely changes your perspective of things. And they sponsor that event, and my mate just put me in there. I wasn't playing golf properly. I had a golf set, I'd go once a year. And he put me in, and it was a 4-man Ambrose, and I was shitting myself because there's like 20 guys there, and we were the first team to tee off. And everyone can hit a ball. And that's the worst hole to play, teeing off on the first. When there's people watching you.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just so nervous. And it was the best hit I had all day, and I went, that's okay, I'm done. As long as I didn't embarrass myself.
If you're going to have one shot to nail, that is the one. Yes.
But we ended up, I was paired up with very good golfers because I had the lowest handicap. I really didn't have one. And we won. And we won the tournament, and I was like, I get it. And from that moment on, I started playing a lot more frequently. But yeah, the future golf is great for that.
What's the strengths and weaknesses of the game?
A lot of weaknesses. The strengths is that I keep showing up.
You know what? That is such a great, yes, you're 100% right.
But the thing is, I don't know, and that's what frustrates me.
Yeah.
So only in my last 2 rounds have I fixed my driving. I couldn't drive, could barely get it off the tee box. And the last 2 rounds, I fixed it. And the thing that frustrates me is I don't know what I did. That's what frustrates me about golf.
That takes time.
That's a great thing about what we've been doing here, I think. I think, Lehmo, you probably feel the same way in that we've had some lessons with some great coaches and we're playing a lot more. And I feel I have more of an idea of things I can do to help fix whatever's happening.
Yeah.
Where I used to be in that darkness of just going, I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. There seems to be less guesswork
It is
in my
because
game at
it's
the moment.
frustrating because you know there's something to fix, you don't know how to fix it,
Yeah.
and then you fix it, and the frustration is, what did I do to fix it?
I'll take you on course, Jackson. I'll fix you, mate. I'll fix you up. I'll fix you up. But
bunkers,
Hey,
though,
we
bunkers.
should.
speaking of turning up,
Yes.
somebody's turned up.
Okay.
Our first Oscar-winning director ever on this on Make Me Go to Golf.
This Mother's Day, some mums prefer Dan's afternoon tea. And nothing says, I love you, Mum, like a hard iced tea premix she can enjoy. Get Mum a drink she'll love. Shop now at Dan Murphy's.
Let's bring this gentleman on. He is no doubt in the Comedy Hall of Fame. He's given us so many amazing cinematic moments from Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, There's Something About Mary. The list goes on. And right now on Prime Amazon, you can see Balls Up. It is hilarious. We've been chatting to Jackson about it. Please welcome the legend that is Peter Farrelly.
Thank you very much. So happy to be here.
Well, this has been amazing because I chatted to Jackson last week, Peter, and I just said, I hear Peter Farrelly's a bit of a golfer. Would you mind putting me in touch with somebody who can get in touch with him and get in touch with somebody else? And then he gave me your email and said, let's just get in touch with him. And you are putting your contemporaries to shame. This has been too easy, and you've been so gracious and generous with your time, Peter.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying, you said it's too easy to get me on. I said, well, I don't have a publicist. I rely on Jackson to get me all.
Just for the record, I'm not just handing your email out to anyone. That's why I introduced you via email.
Yes, there was an introduction.
I'm not taking advantage of that reference letter you wrote me. Don't worry.
I feel like it's the least I could do after what Jackson's given me.
Well, you have an eye for talent because the two Aussies that I spotted in the cast for your last two films, Jackson and Ryan. And Ryan's another good mate of ours. Well spotted. You've got an eye for talent, obviously.
Ryan's fantastic. He's hysterical, and Jackson too. These guys, but Jackson and Ricky Stenicki, that so just
good.
Crushed me.
I've got actually, Bob, you mentioned Ricky Stenicki there. I have a technical question for you, Peter, about Ricky Stenicki. You did some filming at Capital Golf Course, which is a beautiful golf course here in Melbourne.
That's right.
I have played there. That golf course is right next to Moorabbin Airport, which is the second busiest airport in Australia. How on earth did you get the sound right with planes flying over your head every 10 seconds?
Yeah, you get used to it. You have to time it right, absolutely. But I've shot in Miami a lot, and you get that constant plane, jets coming in all day long, and you just time it out.
Yeah.
You just try to figure it out, and it is an issue. It comes up all the time. And then you get the little planes that some guy is just circling over you, looking down at us filming. Those are the real annoying ones.
And congratulations on Balls Up. My wife and I watched it the day it dropped here on Prime Amazon. It's just great to watch a comedy that just it's like an action comedy and it's laugh out loud. Everyone's in great form. Everyone's going for it. And it's a crazy idea. I'm not sure can you take us through where the idea came from? So it's somebody creates a condom that goes over the testicles and then you've worked the World Cup into that. To take us through how the origin of the idea.
The guys who wrote Deadpool and wrote Zombieland, Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick wrote it.
Wow.
And I love both. I'm a huge Zombieland fan. I love that movie. And I like Deadpool a lot too, but Zombieland is just hysterical to me. They wrote this, they sent it on. It's the hardest movie I've ever had to describe to people. They're like, what's it about? It starts this. They invent a condom, goes over the, everything, the package, the whole thing, testicles.
The Franken beans.
That's how it's about. Then they go to the World Cup. It's just a tricky one. It's a lot easier if you have, what's Dumb and Dumber about? Two dumb guys go to Aspen. Boom. There you go.
I made the mistake of watching Balls Up on a plane, Peter. And there are so many hard laugh out loud moments. But I'm on a plane, so I'm trying to hold the laughs in. And it was the absolute worst place to watch this film because it's just consistent belly laughs through the whole thing. And Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks.
There's just so many moments, whether it's a fish flying up someone's urine. I don't want to give too much away.
Don't give away the plot.
No, but that's not giving too much away. But Where I don't want to give too much away is the Larry David cameo, and I won't say any more than that. It is one of the funniest cameos I've ever seen in a film.
Oh, awesome. That was fantastic. Yeah, no, we called him out of the blue and said, hey, would you consider doing this thing? He goes, where do I have to do it? I said, just do it on your phone and send it to us. Okay. So he did that. We did it right off his phone. He never came in, never went to a stage.
What?
And we used that.
So Larry David, in the original script, did they have someone else doing that voice?
Yes, they did. They had, I'm trying to remember who it was. They had somebody else, and they passed. The person who was on it thought, whatever, they didn't want to do it, and then I just called Larry. I knew Larry would just say yes or no. We get a quick answer. So he did. He just put it down and sent it over.
Larry's obviously a famous golfing fan. Have you played with Larry before?
I played golf with Larry?
Yeah.
Yes, a lot. Larry's in my group.
Oh, really?
What? Yes. Yeah. He I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Rhode Island, and I live in California now. But in the summer, I go back to Cape Cod in Massachusetts, and Larry's got a place back there. And Larry didn't really start playing until he was almost 50, and he's way better than me, way better than me. And he's not exactly an athlete, but he's worked at it. And he's probably like a 9 or 10 handicap now.
And what's his temperament like on course?
It's great. He's fantastic. Although one time, this is the God's honest truth, and he didn't know I was there. He hits a ball down the right side. There were OB stakes on the right, and he's walking along looking for his ball. And I had been over to the left, but I circled around and I walked up behind him to help him. And I swear, as he's looking, he was saying, "You're rich, you're rich, you're rich, you're rich, you're rich," to comfort himself. I swear to God, I said, "Are you fucking for real?" Oh, shit. I can't help myself. So, are you for real? And, yeah. Just comforting himself. You're rich, you're rich, you're rich, you're rich.
You created Seinfeld, you created Seinfeld, you created Seinfeld.
That's so funny.
And Pete, what about, you've made so many variety of movies. Have you got a golf movie in you?
Yes.
Because what about Kingpin? I reckon that's one of your most underrated movies. Bill Murray, Ernie McCracken character. Surely you get him into a golf movie.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not a planner. Like, I don't know, like, usually what I'm doing until it drops in my lap and something there, I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. I want to do this. Like, people ask, like, why I pivoted when I did Green Book. It wasn't a pivot. It wasn't an intentional pivot. I was just, one day, I ran into a buddy of mine who's like a character actor, and I said, what are you up to? His name's Brian Curry. He goes, I'm writing a screenplay. I said, oh, yeah, what's it about? He goes, my friend's father, in 1962, he was kind of like a racist, like, Italian guy from the Bronx, and he drove this black concert pianist through the South in 1962, and he didn't want to do it, but he needed the money, and they became good friends. I said, it's a home run, man. That's just such a good story. So I thought about it for a month or two. I told my wife, I said, Brian Curry's writing it, but he's never written a script. But I was curious how it would go, so I called him about 2 months later. I said, so how's that script coming? He goes, what script? I said, the script you told me about. He goes, which one I tell you about? I said, about the concert pianist. He goes, oh, we haven't begun it. I said, I love that idea. Can I write it with you? He said, yeah. So we got down and we wrote it. And that's how it goes. If the right golf thing fell in my lap, I actually have been working on a script about golf, but you do like 3 or 4 at a time, and you don't know which one's going to rise to the surface. But this one's called Twosome, and it's about a guy who meets his father-in-law. They play golf together, just the two of them. He never met him before, and they get together, and it's the whole thing takes place over 18 holes, where you learn a lot about them.
I love it. I know. Well, Kingpin has had, to talk about the impact Kingpin has had. There's a great fact about some Kingpin merchandise that I know you've shared before, so I'll let you share it again. But this is amazing to me.
Yeah, the Rose bowling ball in Kingpin, the Bill Murray's bowling ball, we had 2 of them. In case something happens to one, you lose it, whatever, you always have a backup, like Mutt Cut Vans and Dumb and Dumber, there were 2. And in any case, the bowling ball, I have the bowling ball. It was I took it and I've had it for 30 years. And I read about, I don't know, the last 6-8 months that the other bowling ball was going up for sale, for auction. How much do you think they got? 350 grand.
Oh, wow.
Which is more than
the whip in Indiana Jones, more than the dress she wore in Titanic, and more than the hatchet in The Shining.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And Pete, just to finish with Kingpin, is it right that you wanted Ernie McCracken to finish with 3 strikes, that you would have had to set that up? But did Bill actually throw the strikes?
3 in a row.
Wow.
We needed him to get 3 strikes. So I told the audience, we were actually filming at the National Bowling Center in Reno, and there were 1,000 extras. It was by far the most extras I've ever had at once. And they were all there, and I said, okay, here's what's going on. We got to get him to get 3 strikes. This could take a bit, but when you get the first strike, you get excited. The second strike, you get more excited, as if it just happened. And the third strike, go nuts. But this could be a little more. So he throws the first one, strike. Place erupts. Throws the second one, strike. Place erupts again. Throws the third one. Not only is it a strike, but the pin kind of wobbles and goes down. This place erupts. Bill erupts. Bill's like just going crazy. No, he's a good. Bill's a good athlete. Wow. He's a good golfer.
He's a good golfer.
Yeah, he loves his golf.
Good basketball player. He's just a good athlete.
Hey, Jackson was telling us this off air before that you said something pretty special on the first day. Jackson, you want to tell us what all the cast and crew about ideas?
This is just a testament to who you are, Pete. This what I always loved about working with you was your willingness to take a step back and allow others to have input on the project. And I'll never forget day one of Balls Up, telling all cast, all crew, whether you're delivering sandwiches or you're a producer, if anyone has any ideas on how to make this thing better, please come forward.
Wow.
And say it. And that, as an actor, as an improvisational actor, that gave me so much more confidence and freedom to try stuff out. And I think that's what makes your film so great, is that everyone is having input. Everyone's got ideas and jokes are being thrown left, right, and center. And
yeah,
I remember,
but the thing is, that's just to make everybody feel good. I would never listen to them. No, actually, I do feel that way, because you'd be amazed at the stuff people come up with. Like, first of all, 9 out of 10 of them ideas, you're going to either have thought of it or you don't like the idea. But 1 out of 10, people come up with fantastic ideas, and you're like, oh my God, this is great. All right, this is what we're going to do. Susie just had this idea. Boom, boom. I like to, if I can, give them credit. And because it is a team thing. Look, making a movie isn't it's everybody involved. It's like, I don't think I've once picked a piece of wardrobe for any of my people. I have wardrobe people. And I say, well, they say, what do you think the woman should wear? I don't know. What do you think? How would I know? And they, and I trust them. I trust all the people. I trust everything. Visual effects. How the hell would I know? You get all these people that are doing their thing.
Do you have a caddy when you play, Peter?
I do trust them, and I appreciate them.
Do you have a caddy when you play, and you go, what club should I use?
Yeah.
Does he say to you, what club should you use? You go, how do I know? I'm paying you to pick my club for me.
I don't like having caddies. I was a caddy, by the way, when I was a kid. I loved caddying when I was a kid. I was 10, 11, 12, 13. And by the way, I worked on golf courses all through high school and college mowing greens.
Wow.
But I'm not uncomfortable going out and playing these real fancy courses. They have caddies, and they're we like to play wolf. Wolf?
No.
Wolf is there's 4 of you. The first person, we alternate who goes first, and the first person is the wolf, and he hits, and then he can pick a partner. And that, as each person hits, if the second guy hits, I could either pick him or wait for the third guy. Once the third guy hits, I can no longer pick the second guy.
Yeah, right.
And then once if maybe I'll wait for the fourth guy, and if the fourth guy, I could once he hits, I can't pick second or third, so I got to pick the fourth, or go alone. You'll be the lone wolf. And if you go alone, it doubles it. And we play if you get really beat up, you could lose $200, which is a lot, But it feels like when you have a $200 putt, it feels like $1 million. You know,
That's how much my
And if
putter
you-
costs.
yeah, and if you lose $200, you feel like I'm a bad person. I'm a bad dad. I just blew $200 on the course.
I'm rich. I'm rich. I have two
But I
houses.
always, I don't like having like some like guy my age carrying my bag out there while we're just throwing money away. It makes me feel bad.
Now, Pete, you've played, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you and Larry David together have played with Barack Obama. Is that true?
I have not.
Oh, you
I have
haven't?
not played with Barack. Now I saw that somewhere. Larry plays with him all the time,
Right.
But I have not played with him. Barack is the course we play on Cape Cod. Barack, that's where he plays, and so we will occasionally see him out on the course. But Larry knows him well, and Larry will go over, give him a hug. You know, I can't get within 100, yards of him. Somebody will shoot me.
Okay.
But yeah, Larry plays with them all the time, but I have not. And Barack's supposed to be pretty good too.
One of the things, Peter, that I love about your films, you think of Farrelly Brothers films and you think sometimes of all the big stunts and the hilarious moments, but you said something about, I think it was you, it might have been your brother Bobby, but one of you said something about, there's something about Mary, which is my favorite of your films, where somebody asked you, when did you know you had a great film? And it wasn't necessarily with the the jizz in the hair or the big stunts. It was the moment when Ben Stiller's character sends Matt Dillon's private investigator to check on Mary, and he comes back and he says, oh, she's like a whale size now, she's in a wheelchair, all these things. He painted a not pretty picture, and he still decided he wanted to pursue her, and that's when you realized you had the heart of the story. Is that how you go ahead and your way into these movies to find the heart of it? Yeah.
We start first with who are the people, what is their problem, but who are they and why will we like them? And it is like we try to make them so likable that we can hang later. If you like someone enough, you could write really good jokes and hang it on them if you like them. But you can't do it if you don't like them. So that is the first thing we think of. And then the jokes kind of come after that. But yeah, we thought when we wrote it, the guy comes back and says, hey, she's a mess. She's got all sorts of issues. And he doesn't do anything. This is when we're writing it. And then until he finds out, like a few weeks later, he bumps into someone who saw her somewhere, and finds out that she isn't all that. She's in good shape. So it wasn't the same. But when we realized, even after getting that, and he goes back to the guy and says, give me the info. I can't just shut it off. Well, that's when every woman in the audience says, okay, he deserves her. It's not hard to fall in love with Cameron Diaz. But when you think she's fallen apart and you still want to help her, true love.
Yeah, and one of the stars of Balls Up, Paul Walter Hauser, has become a gift to cinema. I mean, he has so much heart, isn't he? You just love him straight away.
Incredible. I could not believe how that guy is so talented. Wahlberg too, by the way. I think Wahlberg's one of the most underrated straight men. If you list all the movies where he's been up against someone like kind of as the straight guy in the last 30 years, there's nobody better. He's phenomenal. But Paul Walter Hauser is he's a whole new thing, and he is a genius. He's going to be huge. I mean, he is huge, but that guy's going to be around for a long time because he can do whatever you want him to do.
And how big is Jackson Tozer going to be, Pete?
Yeah,
massive. I'm dead serious. I told them, I said, there's nobody funny. Like, to me, honestly, he's like up there with there's like 5 people in his league in the States. He's that funny. You give him anything and he runs with it. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. You know that. Since the moment we met, I've been telling him, get over here. Now, I don't want to drag. I said, look, if you have a good thing going in Australia, don't leave. If you have don't get out of that, because I love Australia. Our whole country wants to move to Australia now. But you would, and I believe you will. I think Jackson's going to kill over here.
You are unbelievably too kind, Peter. And as I said, my confidence through the roof. So I'm going to go play 18 holes after this to bring me back down to
You're going to break 90.
I'm going to break
now,
90.
Pete, what's your handicap?
Yep.
What's the lowest score that you've scored? And what is some advice for us golfers that you've learned in all your years playing?
Okay, well, first of all, like I said, I caddied when I was a kid. I worked on a golf course when I was in high school and college. but I never played back then. My father played golf, and I was, I didn't have any interest in it until I was like in my 20s at least, and and I got bad habits. I'm just it's impossible. I can't. It's I come over the top. I do everything wrong. But I kind of piece together. I have golf nightmares all the time. By the way, all the time.
What's the recurring one? Is there a recurring one?
I can't tee the ball up. It's falling off the tee.
Oh yeah.
My group has already hit. They're going ahead. The people behind me are like impatient. Like, come on, man, tee it up. I finally get it up, and I realize I don't have my bag. I left it in the car. So then I ask somebody, "Can I just borrow a club?" And they give me a club. And then I get up, and it doesn't have a head on the club. It's just the shaft. And I'm like, I got to go. So I swing the shaft, and I tip it about 4 yards, and then I swing again. And it's the most frustrating thing, and I have it all the time. And I realized just recently, and that's why I'm a bad golfer. By the way, my handicap's 18, going toward like 24. Right. But I recognized just recently, like, I've spoken in front of 35,000 people. When we made Fever Pitch, we shot it at Fenway Park while they were while the game was on. And I had to come out in the 7th inning and say, "Hey, we're doing this thing. Can you help me out?" I didn't even think twice. There was nothing. There was no stress. I get on a golf course and there's 3 people looking at me, and I am a basket case. I'm a wreck. I really am. And I have golf nervous breakdowns on the course where I suddenly can't even fathom how to hit the ball. Well, I feel like, yeah.
You have played in a lot of pro-ams over the years. I imagine you've had to tee off on a few first holes where there's more than 3 people watching on.
It's been humiliating. I've had more humiliation on the golf course. I did play in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am once. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there were 30,000 people watch it. And I happened to have a decent week. Thank God. I played with Trevor Immelman all week, who's a prince, by the way.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have been nicer. And we had a great time. And for whatever reason, I think it might be Trevor, it calmed me down. I was not I thought this was going to be the worst week of my life. I was dreading it for 6 months. And I played okay. It wasn't horrible. But I've also had moments where, you see the pity in your playing partner's eyes. It just looks so sad for you.
Eventually it gets to the point where nobody really knows where to look or what to say. Like, they've said all the things that you can possibly say when somebody's shit at golf, and they just run out.
Yeah.
It's this acceptance.
You've been a bit unlucky.
My visual effects guy in Australia is a guy named Derek Wentworth, who's a really good golfer. He's probably like a 2.
Oh, wow.
And we played a lot. And I just remember sometimes he couldn't make eye contact with me. He was embarrassed for me.
We've spoken a bit on the pod about the things people say when you're having a shit round. Things like, you should be able to find it there. Or, it came out of the middle.
The thing about me is, I have to say I'm a pretty good sport. For the way I play, you would think I'd be breaking clubs and throwing them. I don't do that. And I also move fast. Nobody's ever waiting for me. I'll pick up quickly.
Good.
And I take, one practice swing and keep motoring along. But the whole time I'm out there, I'm a nervous wreck. And anyway, recently it occurred to me, and one shot, all of a sudden, somebody said to me, like, "What the hell are you so afraid of? Will you relax?" I play other sports well, basketball, baseball, bowling, whatever it is. I'm never nervous. But I'm a wreck out there, and all of a sudden it hit me. My father. When I was growing up, I would play with my father, and he was good. My father was a doctor. He was never got a B ever. Straight A's all through school, went to medical school, became a doctor. I was like a little shit show. I had bad grades, not what he was hoping for. And then the only time we'd hang out is I'd play golf and I would humiliate myself in front of him. And I realized this is hanging over me. It's like every time I'm on a golf course, I'm trying to please my father. I know this is getting deep, but it's a God's honest truth. And I think if a lot of people think about it, they are too.
Absolutely.
There's something about trying to please your dad. And when you're on the golf course and he's good and you're bad, it's horrible.
Well, what if your father's bad and I'm good?
Yeah.
Where does that sit?
You wouldn't be nervous. You'd be great.
No.
You'd become a good golfer.
It'd be good. When you were playing Pebble Beach, did you think then finally, okay, he'd be happy with this? I'm playing Pebble Beach.
No, I mean, by then, it's not like I live every day thinking of this. No, my father, we were close by then. By then, he was like relieved. It had kind of turned around, But no, he was. That wasn't what I was thinking of there. It's just in my brain. That's why I have nightmares about it. I remember going out when I was like 13 playing with his friends and just them being they couldn't even look at me. I'd be shooting like a 130 and they're looking at my father like, why the hell do you have this kid out here? There's a lot of stuff that goes with it. I'll tell you a funny story. So I got a hole-in-one once.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With my father. And I was playing with my father, and on the 10th hole, I fanned on my tee shot. It was a dogleg left, and I literally fanned, which is rare. But I fanned. I was trying to curve it around thing, and I missed the thing. And I hit my second shot OB, so I'm out of the hole. I walked through the woods on the way to the next hole, and I found this ball, and I got on the next hole, the 11th hole, 170 yards, got a 5-iron. Just hit it perfectly, little draw on the right side, rolls across, ding, we see it go in the hole. We couldn't believe it. And I'm jumping around like, woo! I was with my brother, my father, and a buddy of mine. And I started jumping around. My father's like, stop it, Jesus.
What?
What do you think you're the first one to ever get a hole-in-one? Screaming at me. Screaming at me in like the greatest golf moment of my life. Like, take it down! It's enough! So you can see, yes, I got a lot of issues about golf.
Mate, I could see a movie in this. This is great content.
Yeah, I think you write another draft of twosomes as soon as you get off. I think this is all gold. Where did you play
I
in
told
Australia?
you I was going to unload here. This is a lot.
It's good.
So you said that one of your strong suits is that you play quickly, which is, I think you're talking yourself down a little bit. What is your strength as far as, is it putting? Is it your short game with the irons? Can you drive
Short
off the
game
tee?
and putting, I'm good. In fact, when I play in a shamble, where you take the best tee shot.
Yep.
Not a scramble, but a shamble. You take the best tee shot and you play your ball in from there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always shoot around 80, 81.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
If I play my own tee shots, 95, 98.
and where did you play in Australia when you've been shooting out here?
Wow. Oh, shoot. I'm terrible. I can never remember the names of them. The place we shot at, I played there.
That was Capital.
Capital.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Zach Efron, but we play with him. He's good. But for a guy who's like, doesn't play much, he's like, playing 9.
That makes me a little bit sick, doesn't he? He's also a really nice guy. I've met him a few times.
And again, Derek Wentworth and, who was really good is
Santino.
Andrew Santino. He's probably 2.
Oh,
wow.
wow. Okay.
Well, Warburg goes all right too, because he had a big say. There's a public golf course, Moore Park in Sydney. There's a beautiful public course, and
Yes.
the local council is trying to put some apartments on and make it a
9-hole
course.
Yeah.
And Mark actually came out in the press out here and said, this needs to stop. Unfortunately, it hasn't had the effect that we all hoped it would. But he's obviously passionate about his golf as well.
Yeah. You know who, you're of course familiar with the band Tame Impala, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aussies,
Tame Impala?
Yeah.
They're an Aussie band.
Yep.
Well, the bass player, Cam Avery, he lives out here, he lives in my town, and he's a scratch golfer.
Really?
What?
He's
Is that
incredible.
right?
Yeah, he's like, this guy, he's probably 6'3". He hits the ball like, 320. he kills it. He was like, at one point, apparently he was like one of the top like 30 golfers in Australia. And he was like, do I go music or do I go, go golf? And he's unbelievable how good that guy is. There's a lot of people, that's the other thing, like, and why I have these nightmares. Like, I've gotten to play golf with a lot of people, and I can't remember once where except for maybe with Trevor Immelman, where I was decent. And, like, I play with Alice Cooper. And again, by the end of the round, they can't make eye contact with you. They're like, they don't know what to say.
Hey, Peter, what's Alice Cooper off? Because, it's rumoured that he's shot as low as 65, although someone on the podcast disputes that. But
he was a 2 when I played with him.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a 2.
That's
he
good
said,
golf.
he used to have, and he talks about it all the time, so I don't mind saying it, but he had big, addiction issues.
Yeah.
And when he quit everything, he said the day he quit it, he picked up golf. And instead of doing the other stuff, he was doing golf every single day.
And he got down to 2. So, Pete, he got down to 2. Peter, get an addiction, right?
Yes.
And then to get out of that addiction, play friggin' good golf.
I'm trying to. I'm doing my best.
Couple of technical questions for you, Peter, that we ask all of our guests who are golfers. First up, if you've got an 11 a.m. tee time, what time do you arrive at the course?
Yeah.
5 of?
5-2.
5 of 11?
Yeah. Yeah, that's like me.
That's right.
That's like me.
You're no warm-up, you're just straight into it.
Lately I've been trying to warm up because I'm trying to turn around. I took lessons last summer. I hadn't taken lessons in a long time, but I took them last summer, and that's when I really got bad. The guy, I come over the top, and the guy's trying to keep me under, under here, keep the arc. Yeah. And I could not, it's muscle memory. I just, my brain didn't feel right. So last summer was probably the worst golf I've ever played. That's why I need this show. But I've been trying to go to the range, and I know he's right. I just have to get past that thing. So I've been going to the range a little more, and now I try to get there like 20 of and hit a few balls. But in the past, I would just roll in and go.
If you're playing with a good friend, let's say you're playing with Larry David, who you play with a lot, if he hits a shocking ball off the tee, slices it into the trees 60 meters away, do you say nothing and move on, or do you let him have it?
It matters like where we are in Wolf. If it's like the first hole or second hole and we're playing for because it starts at $2 Wolf, and you could be, but if it gets a little heavy, I would not rub it in.
Yeah. We have the same group, so
Who else is in the group? You mentioned Larry. Who else? Anyone else we might know?
No one famous. Just oddly, because you think Larry and Brock, you think this is some really fancy course. It's not. It's a very down to earth course. It's like all like fishermen and farmers and stuff, but it's a beautiful course. It's right on the water, but it's not an old like blue blood type of thing. It's more. They went out of their way to keep it very down to earth. It's a type of place, you don't have to tuck your shirt in when you go into the pro shop.
Yeah.
Have you played at one of the Trump courses around the country?
I have not, no. I played at Doral years ago before it was a Trump thing, where I don't know if he still owns it, but he did at one point. But I played Doral, that's okay. This is probably 35 years ago. I went down for a week to Doral. There was a golf teacher, famous one down there. Remember the name?
No, I don't.
Okay, but he's kind of well known. Everybody goes there. So I went there for a week with my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law was a 6, and he had the most beautiful swing you ever saw. I think that's why my father liked him so much, right when he met him. And I'm dead serious. He's like, this is a good guy. I like this guy. It's a funny thing. Like when you're playing good golf, and that happens occasionally for me. But when you're playing good golf and you're playing it down there and you're within yourself, you feel like, you know what? I'm a decent guy. I'm not bad. I got my shit together. I really do. That I can do this. But when you play bad golf, you feel, well, this is why I blew this one, and this is the same thing with it. It's exactly why, this is you, Pete. Growing up.
Yeah.
Can't keep your head down, not that hard. But anyway, we go to Doral. My brother-in-law was a 6. I was about a 22 back then. And they look at him and they're like, we could get you down to scratch, but you got to change your swing. Wow. And they worked on him for a week. He's never been below a 16 again. And now he doesn't even play. He's so frustrated.
See, no one's worked it out, this sport.
No,
yet, have they?
No.
It's insane. I think this may actually be a Larry David quote. He said it's the only sport that you can do every week for a year and end up worse.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a
brutal.
funny thing. Like, there's some things like, basketball. Like I'm not still playing basketball, but if I get out there and my son's shooting around and I get out, I can still, I can shoot fine. Great. If I go bowling, like I probably go bowling every 2 years, and I could easily bowl 170 without, easily. Golf, I just get out there and I'm just so scared. I'm so afraid of every movement. And I know it goes to my father. That's why we're trying to, fix this here. Yeah. But anyway, my brother had 2 hole-in-ones with my father playing with him. I had that 1 hole-in-one, and my father never had a hole-in-one. He played every day, all the time. He was like a 6. And until he was in his 70s. And then he got 3 hole-in-ones in his 70s. He played till he died in his early 80s. He played till then. By the end, he was like driving his cart right up on the green, And but the 3rd hole-in-one, he called me when he got the 1st. He called me when he got the 2nd. But I never heard about the 3rd till I was out to dinner with him and my mother. And my mother says, hey, you hear Dad had another hole-in-one? I was like, what? You had another hole-in-one? Yeah. I said, why didn't you tell me? He goes, it's another hole-in-one. I said, I said, what? How long was the hole? He goes, 130 yards. I go, what'd you hit? Driver.
He got onto one.
Yeah. He goes, but it was uphill. But that's why he didn't tell me, because he knew I'd ask, what'd you hit?
Yeah, exactly. That is gold.
It was a driver.
Peter, what do you think golf is having this moment at, right now? People are saying it's a post-COVID thing. It's you got Full Swing on Netflix, Happy Gilmore too. There's all these things happening around golf. Do you put it down to, obviously you're a lifetime golfer, but it's really having a moment. The uptake with kids and with women recently has been huge. Do you have a theory as to the popularity of golf at the moment?
Well, I think COVID definitely had something to do with it, because at that time there wasn't much you could do. We're all stopped, but the golf courses stayed open, and you couldn't touch the pins. Remember, at least in here, the States, you couldn't. They had a little thing in the bottom, and if you hit the pin, it's in. They didn't want everybody lifting the pins out. And I mean, that's when my son and all his friends started playing. He was like 20 at the time. He was in college, but they sent everybody home. That's a big part of it. I don't know. Another decent show is, what do you call it? Stick. The Owen Wilson show?
Owen Wilson, yes. Mark Maron, yep.
That's like the #1 show on Apple.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's and Owen, by the way, he was not a big golfer. He and I have similar things. His father was a big golfer. Same feelings, like, just inferiority complexes over golf. And he never really played, but Luke, his brother Luke, is like 4 handicap.
Right.
He's great. But when Owen signed up for the show, he had to get good. And then he took it very seriously. Now I think now he's like about an 8 or 9.
Fantastic. Well, Pete, it's been an absolute joy to have you on. I can't believe how quickly this came together.
I have to ask
Yes.
one more question.
Yes.
I've got to ask. Dumb and Dumber is my all-time favorite comedy. I just love it. And I've got a few of my own favorite scenes, but I have to ask you, what is your favorite scene in Dumb and Dumber?
Wow. Geez. I'm sure it changes all the time, but there was a thing once you have Sports Center type thing there, right? You have Sports Center, don't you?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ESPN
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah, ESPN, yeah.
Well, one night on Sports Center, they said, coming up, top 10 favorite lines in Dumb and Dumber. And they kept telling them every commercial they'd do another one and another. I hung in there. I was shocked at number one. Could not believe what number one was. I wouldn't have guessed it in a million years. And that was, hey fellas, big gulp, eh? Well, see you later. Number one. Not, so you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah. Surely you're telling me there's a chance is number one.
And what about pullover? No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for asking. I mean, that's gold.
And
I think my favorite is when he gets him. He goes, "I'll bet you that's so and so." He goes, "I don't bet." He goes, "I'll give you." What do you mean you don't bet? He goes, "I don't bet. I'll give you 3-1 odds. I get you betting by the end of the day." No, I don't bet. 5-1. No, 10-1. All right, you're on. They say. And then he looks at him. He goes, "I'm gonna get you. I don't know how, but I'm gonna get you." That's probably my favorite.
Can you take us through
that's another level of stupidity?
Yeah.
Can you take us through what it's like to be behind the camera when you are seeing Jim Carrey perform and just go for it? What's that moment like for you?
Well, that was my first movie, first of all. And I'd been out here 9 years writing scripts, and I was, getting by, but I never made a movie. So it was, honestly, it was just pure joy. And also with Jeff, those two love each other. They got it together when we were auditioning. When Jeff came in, and I wanted Jeff more than anything because I love this movie, Something Wild. I thought he was great in it. And when Jeff came in, Jim was like, when Jeff left after reading with him, Jim said, "That guy scares the shit out of me. He had me on my heels the whole time." He goes, that's the guy. That's the guy. He wanted to be pushed. And Jeff Daniels he's unbelievable, but they're completely different people. Jeff's quiet, sits there, does his thing, doesn't, when we're not shooting, he's on this, sitting in his chair reading a book. Jim's like, "Okay, where are we going here? What are we going to do here?" It's a whole different thing, but they loved each other. And I remember after 2 weeks, I realized I'm hardly talking to Jeff because I'm dealing with Jim all day. And I went over and said, "Hey, listen, I hope you don't think I'm neglecting you." No. You go with Jim. Jim needs that. I'm good. I was like, awesome.
That's amazing.
But no, it was pure joy. But honestly, God's honest truth, I've had that on every movie. But I really have. It's never become old hat where I just think, it's a job, ever. First of all, I didn't get a movie made till I was 36. And, I didn't start writing till I was 25. And as, I had so much failure in my life to have something good happen that I could do. It was just a joy, and it has been ever since. I've never been on a set to this day where I'm not thinking, how the hell did I get to do this? This is ridiculous.
And you talk about your relationship with your father, and we'll let you go in a sec, but very quickly, you've got a funny story about Jeff Daniels' parents turning up on the set of...
my parents.
Your parents. That's right. Your parents on the set of Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. My parents, I'm in my late 30s. I haven't done shit. And, they're like, "What are you doing out there?" My brother too, we're writing scripts. So "Well, how do you live?" They're paying us for some. We do these rewrites, thing. Okay. So we finally get a movie made, Dumb and Dumber. And they come out to Utah where we're shooting it. And the very first day, the very first moment they come walking on the set, we're shooting Jeff on the toilet. They come walking over what are you doing? It's like, he's taking a dump. They're like, what kind of movie is this? It's like, no, it's trust me, it's funny. Oh, okay. They didn't know what they were looking at.
Well, mate, it's been an absolute joy. Congratulations on Balls Up, and thank you for all the work that you've given us over the years. It's provided so much joy all around the world. Good luck with your golf game.
Well,
And
I thanks for letting me unload, because this is like I'm telling you, I have not. This is a lot has come out tonight, and I think it's today, and I think it's going to help my golf game. I really do. I've got to just release the stress of trying to please my father.
Exactly, and we can't wait for twosomes. By the way, I cannot. I think that sounds amazing.
I can't wait to see who I play in it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think absolutely.
There you go. When are you getting over here, Jackson?
Yeah, Jackson.
Got my visa now, Pete. I'll be there soon, very soon.
Okay, you let me know.
Let's
and
catch
if you
up.
got any more interviews or anything for me to do, just let me know.
I will.
He's a great publicist as well as that.
Excellent.
You'll be a series regular soon, Peter. Watch what you asked for. But thank you so much, mate, and congrats on Balls Up, and we'll hopefully get around in next time you're out in Australia, maybe.
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, thanks a bunch.
How good.
There we go.
Jackson Tozer, thank you so much for
He loves you.
facilitating
He
that.
loves you.
That-
He loves
He's
you.
very nice, isn't he?
Right, I spoke to Ryan Shelton last week. We're on the set of something, and I mentioned, how was Balls Up? I watched it. Congratulations! It's good to see you and Jackson there.
Yeah.
And Ryan said, I didn't mention Peter's a bit of a golfer, and he goes, yeah, he loves his golf, and he loves Jackson. He goes, he really likes me. But he loves Jackson.
It's very, very kind. Ryan must feel like how Pete does with his dad. But
That's great. Are you moving to the States?
I'm not moving there. I've got my working visa to work there. Australia's home. I'm very close with my family and friends, and I love my life here. But definitely opportunities come up in the States. I'm going to go.
Well, mate, I think
So you got your visa,
Yeah.
you got your handicap, you've broken 100.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to accomplish. I don't know. Like,
Tell you what, gentlemen,
now?
that was a first-class episode of Make
Me
Good
at Golf.